Okay, so this is going to be a short tutorial on using the various Microsoft Office 365 apps within the browser. The reason for this is to demonstrate that you don't need to have Office 365 physically installed on your computer or your laptop or your phone. You can simply use the browser on a laptop or a desktop, and you can download Office 365 Suite to your phone via the Play Store or the Apple Store, and again use your UE login to access any files on your OneDrive. But mobile and tablet versions of the apps will not be something I'll cover here, as it's obviously a lot harder to do a screencast with a mobile phone. But you are able to do much of the same things and edit files within your phone exactly like you would in Excel or Word. So this is just going to be an introduction to those. So if you've seen the previous video, you get to this whole Office 365 area via your My UE login and then opening the email link, at which point you're greeted with your inbox and you'll have this tile up the top here, and this contains your Office apps. Okay, now I'm going to show you in Word to start with, and just by clicking that it opens up a whole list of recently accessed files. Okay, and these are files that exist within my OneDrive, my cloud storage, so not those files that are saved in my documents or my H drive or the S drive or a memory stick, but just those that are associated with my UE account, Office 365 OneDrive for Business. Okay, so you can access any of them here. I can open that up either from my OneDrive and it will open in this Word Online, or indeed I can start a new document here. Okay, so I'll do a new document to start with, and here we've got a blank document and it's currently called Document. Now this will be saving it in the broader area, just within my OneDrive in general. So we'll call this test file just as an example, and you see that it says save, so save that file name. So there should now be a file, and we'll just have a look for it in OneDrive. There we go, and there it is at the bottom. So it's just put it in the generic files area, the top level of my OneDrive, and it's called test file. So now that's saved, I can go in by clicking on it. It opens in Word Online, and you can see here I have almost the full functionality of full Word. The major difference, particularly from a staff point of view, is in the review area you only have the ability to add comments and delete them and to look at them. You don't have the ability to turn on and off track changes, and so you are slightly more limited in how you can do marking online using Word Online. However, if you do want to do track changes, if it's a file of your own or you're marking a student's file and you actually want to show track changes, which, just as a piece of advice, is not advised, as that's correcting work for students rather than helping them improve by pointing them towards how they might change things. You can click on this Edit in Word, and if I drag this over, it is now opening in the full Word. Okay, so this is now full Microsoft Office Word. Okay, now you do that with Excel, PowerPoint, anything you like. I'll show you an example with PowerPoint of how you can use Office 365 Online to open your PowerPoints in a lecture theatre and run your lecture from the PowerPoint. So this is slightly stepping away from the student-facing angle, but it is a useful skill for students nonetheless. So I'll close down this file, and what I'm going to do at this point is delete that Word file because I don't need it. Ideally, best practice really is to go into the area that you want the file to be saved, and it's easier if you already have the existing file and you just open it, make an edit there, and it will automatically be saved. Okay. But if you want to make a new file, if I wanted to save it into this Tel Tech folder, I would then go up to here, click on New, and choose what kind of file it is I want to create. Okay, and then the new document, it would come up as document, and you rename it as I showed you, would appear at the bottom of this list, and that can work for any of them. Okay, you can also upload files or folders from your existing desktop. I'll now go into PowerPoint, and if we bring up any file at all. Okay. Now this I can edit again. I can move things around. It will all automatically be saved. I can undo things, any of that sort of stuff. Okay. And when I want to give it in class, you do exactly the same thing as you would normally, and click on the slide thing. And now this is running in my browser. I haven't opened PowerPoint as a whole, but you can do that. I'm instead running it in a full screen, and just press escape like normal, and back we go. Okay, so I haven't had to save it to the H drive and then open it in the lecture theatre. This is saved within my cloud, so you would go into the lecture theatre, log onto the computer as you would normally, log into your email, and there are all your files. So you don't need to move files from your cloud to the H drive or from your cloud to a stick just to be able to open them in class. If you find that the browser's a little bit slow, you can open in PowerPoint, and it will be the full PowerPoint that is on that computer in the lecture theatre, as they all do. And again, you just run it like normal. Okay, so that's PowerPoint. Excel, very much the same thing again, so I won't go through that for now. What I'll move on to is briefly OneNote. OneNote is particularly useful for students. OneNote is a fantastic way of writing notes, gathering them together and moving them around. Okay, you can open it again in the main application. The genius thing about the cloud here is that if you made notes on your tablet, on your phone, on your laptop, your desktop at home, because this OneNote is saved within your cloud under your UE user login, this is staff or students, updates will also always be reflected in whatever physical equipment you are writing them on or that you open them on. Okay, so here is a new page. You can insert any kind of things that you like, forms, stickers, you can draw things, you can add in tables. We've got various word functions here, and the idea here is you might call the page lecture 1, and then you just start typing notes. There we go. So I might write that in class, and what you might be aiming to do is write notes in Word, but when you get home and you've got Word files, you have to move everything around so they make a bit more sense. In OneNote, you can add really anything that you like from within. Okay, so let's just insert a file here, stick that in the middle. It could be a picture from the PowerPoint, it could be a picture from online, and you can move it around anywhere that makes sense to you. Okay, you can insert handouts, you can attach handouts, so tables, file attachments, you can record audio into it. So now it is allowing me to record, and I have recording functions up here, and I can stop it at any point. And so if there's something particularly complex that a lecturer is saying, you could record audio so that you don't miss anything while you're writing notes. Now it is allowing me to record, and I have recording functions up here, and I can stop it at any point. And there we go. So that is OneNote. Very brief overview, I appreciate, but I just wanted to do brief introductions to these sections, these apps for now, so that you can explore them and find the best use for them yourself. They're great for meetings, lectures, compiling your notes, putting your thoughts in order at a later date, simply by virtue of the fact that wherever you click on the screen, you can type anything, and you can move it to wherever best suits you. You can also draw, so a tablet's going to be handy for that, so we can circle various things, whatever it is you want to do. It's basically a giant whiteboard that saves in the cloud, that you can open in full OneNote, which has only slightly more functionality, so this is very, very useful. And it's just incredibly versatile.